Okay. Here goes again, potentially. Think we're online. Yes, we are. Okay, awesome.
Yep.
So hello everyone, and welcome to the Chronicles of Tyria, or in this case, the Complaints of Tyranny. And we'll get to that in a little bit, podcast. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much right now, because I would like to be joined by my co-hosts here, and we'll go over some stuff about what's going on in the future, and why things are the way they are. But for now, enjoy the very last bit of art from our good friend Vasberg, and the very last CoT Podcast theme song. Hello everyone. Well, that's from the last stream, but that's okay. So hello everyone and welcome. That's my face in the background. Hi me. I'm in the background there. I'm not supposed to be. Video capture. Oh, wrong one. That one. There we go. Sorry, the thing adjusted to not things that it was supposed to be. Anyway, let me fix that. I don't know why it was doing that. New. This is just, I know. It was me inside of. I don't know what happened there.
It's like as you're zooming, like you're crouching down to see better, it literally looks like you're trying to see under yourself.
I know. It was awesome. Whatever, guys. It's fine. We're gonna get this fixed. Move to bottom. There we go. Fixing things live. It was working fine, and then somehow it replaced it with me. Done. Fixed. So, anyway, hi. You know what? It wouldn't be ready to go if it wasn't it wouldn't be a Chronicles of Tyria podcast if there weren't technical difficulties. So anyway, hi everyone. As you can clearly see, I am joined by Alcardelina and Saune for the first time ever, face on the interwebs, blowing you guys up with the last episode. There were cookies if you heard us laughing during the theme song, because Saune was munching on cookies and it was funny to me and Allie. If you watch some of the more recent Let's Lores, you'll understand why cookies are a funny thing. Because Saune gets very hyper. So, again, this is gonna be our final episode. I'm pretty sure most of you guys could kinda figure it out. I said last time I was gonna put this on hiatus until Halloween. And Halloween was really ArenaNet's choice it was their chance to win me back into the fold of Guild Wars 2. And as any of you know, Guild Wars 2 rehashed the content from last year and didn't really even update things.
Yeah.
So...
It really says a lot about a company that early in the game.
Yeah, and another reason that we didn't want to do a podcast again going forward is because of the view of the group is in a very negative situation right now, and for the very long foreseeable future, and we didn't want to just do a podcast once a week where all we do is bitch.
No one wants to hear that.
I mean, you might, but we're not going to do it anyway, so... it was pretty much a group decision. There was some contention originally, and then ArenaNet just kept shooting themselves in the foot. So, we all pretty much came to the decision, it's probably for the best interest of everyone if we just stop. And I know I've said countless times in the past, we're not going anywhere. And you know what? You guys have been with us, some of you, from the beginning. There were periods where it was just me for months because I was left all alone and multiple times. And I still stuck through it. So you know I care about this game, and you know I care about this community. And I had. And I still care about the community and the people and the friends that I've made, but I don't see the point in doing a podcast about a game that I'm just not interested in anymore. I mean, I'm not going to say maybe we'll come back, because I'm ending this. This is ending. Done. But hopefully it gets better for everybody and everyone's sake. And ArenaNet, they're a small company. They can't afford to alienate most of their player base, which I feel like... And I'm going to come out front and say I haven't followed too heavily along with a lot of the updates that have come into the game, and the conversations on the forums, because forums are already pretty negative, and I can only imagine what they're like now. And Alu, I know...
In there, there's something useful.
Yeah, and Alu, I know you had very eloquent ways of wording a lot of your complaints.
Is that really how you want to describe it?
Sure, that's how I will describe it. But I know you've been more involved in like the flip-flopping and the things that they've said, and I know you and I are both very much Guild Wars fans from the beginning of Guild Wars 1. So to get to the point where we're at now, feeling about Guild Wars 2, something drastic had to change.
Like the entire game. Yeah,
so, again, why don't... In a high-level overview, what is really kind of... Not necessarily the nail in the coffin, but the reason why you're really considering not... leaving Guild Wars 2 for good. If you were to.
It's really a lot of reasons, but if I had to put it in a very small sort of way, is it's not the game I bought. Like, I paid money for a game that I no longer have the same mechanics on. It's a really drastic change, and I've been defending them for the longest time. Like, oh well, this might have happened, but at least this came out of it. But it's gotten to the point now, which is my second point of why I don't think I can go on with this, is that the developers, the community managers, and everyone, every time they get major backlash, like they have been lately, they've come back at everyone and have been really, really rude and snarky and sarcastic about it each and every time someone says, I don't like this. So it's just like, I can't get behind a company that has that sort of attitude.
Okay, I can totally get that, and I feel like there were some definite comments about veteran players, and that was one of the big ones from recently that I read about.
Yeah, it's just like every time they're just like, well, this is, if you're a veteran player, this does not apply to you. And it's just like, no, it does apply to me, because I'm the one still playing the game. It's like I was the one, that has been playing and buying gems and doing all of this stuff, and I usually don't like to, put that in their face, But it's just like, I feel like I'm getting zero respect from them. And it's just like...
It's bets that buy the gems.
Yeah.
A newbie's not going to buy the gems. I thought I would get away with playing this game without ever buying gems, and I've easily given them $200 over the last 2 years.
I wish it was only $200.
Yeah.
At some points it was coming out to almost at a month.
Yeah.
No joke. And yeah, for me to have not logged into the game in months. I mean, there was a day I logged in to play for a couple of hours. And yeah, I'm not... The new player experience was the first thing that really bugged me, personally. As you know, we had a Let's Play going for Guild Wars 2 Living Story. And when they level gated us out of the story, it really... then we'd have to either level on camera, and it would just literally be the level grind to the next piece of the story. Or we'd have to have, homework, where we'd go and everybody needs to make sure you're level 20 by the next time we play, and if you're not, then you're going to screw up the recording. And it was a whole big thing. And, I mean, the Living Story was okay. I mean, some of the stuff was really good, some of the stuff was not so great. But, just, again, like you said, this new player experience, the treatment of the veteran players, which, your veteran players, there's not a whole lot, and I can speak from personal experience, and you can kind of see... If I move this icon right out of the way, look at all those people over there in the corner. This is Guild Wars 1. That was live just a few minutes before we logged onto the podcast. We snapped this picture. There are tons of people in Guild Wars 1. More than I've seen in a long time, because people are going back to a game that they like, that is the game that they bought, if not better than it was when they bought it. We touched on it last time. All the stuff that ArenaNet was doing that was making them different from every other MMO, that other MMOs were then, copying, they are now not the MMO that they were trying to be. They are what the MMO they were trying not to emulate. Now.
Yeah, which goes back to my point of how drastically they changed. I paid for a game that advertised that I could play how I wanted to.
Yeah.
And now I have to play, by someone else's rules because they want to blame it on new players that can't understand it, that they're not keeping the retention up. And like I said, honestly, if those people can't, if they can't retain the game, if they have retention problems, then I probably don't want to play with those sorts of people. Yeah. Just being honest. It's new money for them. I think that is their main concern.
Didn't the comment about the tyranny was a joke about... It was a play on words about ArenaNet lately. It's nothing new, just a comment that we came up beforehand of CoT. But anyway. I'll let you guys explain it there in the chat. Also, some of the biggest viewership we've had in months in the last episode.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
I think it's because it's the last episode.
Yeah, I think
like, what?
I think so too. Again, we don't. It's again. You put it. I think you said it best, Alu. Is that it's not the game that we paid for, that we were promised from the start.
Yeah.
Oh my God, people are freaking out because Saune exists.
I love that comment.
Oh my God, Saune is a human. No, she's actually just a robot that draws.
A script.
Yeah.
A script that found a shiny pencil.
I'm also secretly a man.
Yep.
In case you can tell.
Yep. Very feminine man. So it was just time. I think for me personally. And again, well, Saune, we didn't really get too much from you. We got Alu and my stuff. So what about you?
Well, ditto for a lot of it. I haven't been playing unless I explicitly have someone to play with. Those of you in Guild might know that I actually recently recruited one of my friends to play. I actually bought her the game so that she could play, and then they dropped the new player experience on it a week later. And the only time that we ever play now is I ask her if she wants to play, and she comes over and we play together. Otherwise, I don't even log in. I have no reason to. There's nothing for me to do. There's no story. There's no anything. Everything is pure grinding, including leveling up alts. Like, there's nothing exciting about them anymore. And there's no community around because everyone else is pissed, too. And actually, that's probably the biggest thing for me, is my guild is my online family. Like, I when I choose to join a guild, when I really become invested in a guild, they are my family.
Yeah.
And so to see my family disappear, it's just kind of like...
Yeah, no, I get that. Like I said, I mean, I made friends in this that are, you know, that I'm always going to have friends. Some of you I've met in person, some of you I spend countless hours talking to, and I'm not planning on changing any of that. It's just we won't have this game in common. That doesn't mean we can't have other games or other endeavors and other things in the future in common. So... Yeah.
Yeah, Lord knows you keep me busy enough, Lag.
I know, and we don't even have art for this stuff to do anymore, but I still keep you plenty busy.
Okay, how about this?
Okay.
We have a lot of negativity right now.
Yes, we
Let's
do.
say something good about, like, our experience with the game, whether it be in the past or the present.
Okay. I can tell you one, that I would not know either of you two if it was not for this game. I would not have any desire to play online games or do podcasting or streaming or anything, or any of the ambition that I currently have to do anything on the internet if it wasn't for Guild Wars 2. It allowed me to make friends with people all over the world. And it allowed me to go stay in a hotel with one of them at DragonCon. That was a thing.
That doesn't sound questionable at all.
I mean, but no. And again, yes, to point that out, no. Chronicles of Tyria, the guild is not disbanding. The fan fiction is not stopping unless the writers want to stop, which is their prerogative, not mine. I'm just ending the podcast. We are still going to continue to do our Guild Wars 1 Let's Play, where, if it, you know, there's logistics we're figuring out on that kind of stuff. So, no, the guild will still exist, and you may see other stuff. You know, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Alla, what about you? Something positive.
Well, you know, I run Project Tyria, and it's going to be a little difficult right now, especially with, you know, lack of map anyway. But it gave me a chance to see what they would do, like, in the future, as far as, like, the actual lore and stuff goes. So it gave me it gave me a purpose, but it also made me really appreciate Guild Wars 1 more than I ever have. As well as what you said.
Fair enough. Saune, what about you? Something positive.
Well, finding CoT, which I guess, shout out to Jax for basically finding CoT and bringing me in. Because I've never been this engrossed in a guild before. I've always been, like, to the sidelines, maybe chatting in chat and stuff like that. I'm good friends with a few people, but I've never, like, I do the art, I do the podcast, I've done all the recording. I'm on the freaking internet! That's really unusual for me, and, yeah, I'm thankful for that, because this has been a really awesome experience. And, like, I'm super proud of all the stuff that I've done, even those that have died and whatnot. So, yeah.
No, it is, again, to sum up what's happened so far for those of you that have come in, this is the last episode of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast. The guild is not disbanding, the website is not going away, the podcast is stopping because none of us saw the point in doing a podcast.
When there's nothing to talk about!
Yes, and we don't have a positive opinion.
I read the patch notes. It's literally copy-paste from last year. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, except for the thing that they went back and, reversed. Well, will reverse.
Oh my god, it's Brahms. I think he messaged me, but I didn't want to pull it up because mid-thing, because it's going to replace my text chat with Brahms, your faces with Brahms' text chat. So I may be able to, but anyway. So, what's going to happen with CoT website in the future? At the very least, nothing's going to change. Absolutely nothing. For those of you that don't know, Jalinar, who you might see in the chat right now, he actually pretty much runs most of the website, posts all the fan fiction.
Because he's awesome.
Yes, did the, what's it called? Did the contests for the fan fiction, and again, that would be really kind of crappy if he just put out this whole fan fiction thing, and then we're like, hey, guess what? Nope. Congratulations that you won, but you don't get to post ever. So no, him and I will be in talks if we want to tweak things on the website in the future. At the very least, again, nothing on that aspect will change. I'm also potentially working on throwing in the forums as part of the main site just to kind of clean stuff up. And again, our Let's Play of Guild Wars 1, because as we've said, Guild Wars 1 is still a really good game and something really fun. The 4 of us will continue to do that. We may try to grab some other people. We're trying to figure that stuff out as well. So that will continue, and we may try to actually get an actual intro for once. We've been talking about that for 35 episodes, I think. Getting an actual intro to our Let's Play. So we're going to figure that stuff out. So somebody there... Let me see, do we have anything in the notes? Oh, yeah, what?
Mailbag.
Yes, look at that. Mailbag. There's a mailbag image. Anyway, this image right here, unfortunately you won't be seeing as much of it as you used to. This mailbag image is from our good friend Vasberg at Vasberg.com. Super talented artist. You should hire him. He does amazing work. On our 55th episode of the Chronicles of Tyria, Let's Lore, Fun With It said, nice videos, guys. I've watched them all, and y'all deserve a lot more views than what you get. Hope you finished all the missions. We're working on it, and we still will be working on that for a while. Irish Dog 41, you're jumping the gun. We're gonna get there. But yes, thank you. We appreciate that you like the Let's Lore. I wish we had more viewers too. We average 20 to 40 people, and I'm pretty sure one of those is everybody on the show that watches it after the fact to remember all the crazy stuff. If not multiple views from them.
I haven't for a long time, since the summer of hell.
I'm just gonna...
Because I haven't done art.
I'm gonna blame it all on Ame.
Yeah, she definitely goes back and views them all. No, Irish Dog, it's
while
fine.
we're playing.
Yes, sometimes while we're playing, she's going back and listening, and she makes references to jokes, and we're like, what? She's like, no, remember like 8 episodes ago when you said this and I made this joke? No. I don't. What are you talking about? It's also, the reason she's not here, is because it's crazy late. She stays up till like 3 in the morning every week to do that with us. Because she's crazy. And we love her for it. As you can clearly tell from the episodes. So, what else do we have in here? A craft corner, stuff we'll save for later. So, before we talk about future stuff, what anything else you guys would like to put out there for the fans, for the community, for ArenaNet? Anything? Our merchandise store is still going to stay open, so if you really want to get CoT merchandise, you're welcome to. Someone worked hard with our artists to come up with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and there's Let's Lore stuff too.
Yes. In the shop, you mean?
Yeah, in the shop.
Yes, there is.
We were still on the topic of the shop. I wasn't aware that we had changed topics yet.
No.
Do you have a little sign? Topic change!
I wish I had transition cards that would do that, but no, I don't.
So bad it's the last episode. I'd totally make them.
Yeah, well, we'll save that for future endeavors.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you, everyone, I guess, for the warm welcome and stuff, since I just randomly showed up on the podcast one time, because Brahms had to suddenly go, and so Lagwyn was flying solo, so we figured out how to show my screen. I guess I could keep you company, I guess, and I pretty much haven't left since. So, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aloe, how about you?
Well, to our fans, I just want to say that I'm glad you guys stuck around for as long as you did through our misadventures. Of course, we're not actually going anywhere. We'll be on Lorecast. So if you actually like listening to us, just put Lorecast on in the background. You don't even have to watch. It's just funny enough listening to it.
Yes.
And my thing to Arena.net would be, it's not too late to turn back. It's almost there, but it's not too late yet.
All right. I'm waiting for Brahms to say something. I don't know if he's going to say it in Skype or in the Twitch chat, so I'm waiting. But in the meantime, I will say my piece. You want me to post this on iTunes? I am so bad about that. I haven't posted in a long time.
Okay, that's going to be your homework after.
I'll post this one on iTunes. It's the last one. It's important. But
and you're just not going to bother with all the others? It's going to be from episode 50 to...
Well, listen, first of all, for those of you who don't know, hosting on iTunes is expensive, okay?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money. Well, to pay a hosting software to host on iTunes is expensive. Anyway, Brahms says... I want to thank everyone, especially from CoT and ANET and the people that watched the podcast for the support while I was ill. There were a ton of people that sent messages of support, and it was huge. All caps. I appreciate it immensely and never got a chance to thank everyone on the podcast, so now seems like a good time. For me, to the fans, to Chronicles of Tyria fans, you guys have stuck with me, you stuck with CoT, and you stuck with me through a lot. There's been hosts that have come and gone for one reason or another, but you guys still stuck there, and when it was just me trying to do this for myself, you were there to support me and to help me get through those tough times and things like that. You were there in game, you were there on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and it was a big deal, because there were a lot of times in the past where certain things happened, and I had the thoughts of quitting, and you guys stopped me from doing that, and now unfortunately that's just the way it has to be. To ArenaNet, I love your work. I just wish that you would stay consistent with what you offer to your players. And again, unfortunately, I feel a lot of the stuff that you've added wouldn't have been an issue to us if we had it at the start. But we are the veteran players that have been there from the beginning, and your adjustments, other than trying to keep yourself completely in line with what you tried in China, your adjustments hurt us more than they help you in the end, because you're alienating your veteran players, and nobody wants that. But again, I didn't want that to be a negative thing. But you did talk yourself out of a Proton Pack. Just saying. Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you to Chronicles of Tyria, the guild, for all the friends that I've made, and crazy late nights, and ridiculous comments, and the artwork that you guys have shared and made and given to us, the parties and the donations for all the things that we've done, and you know, whether it be Saune running away for some reason, which that happened. So now you can see what her chair looks like. Oh, I know what she's getting. Like that stuff. Look, that's Alu art. One of the very rare, very limited edition before, oh, Brahms, best comment. Dude, Proton Packs are too confusing, you need Noobton Packs. Yes, the very limited edition Chronicles of Tyria calendar, that is what got our shop shut down the first time. because
Who knew it was so dangerous?
yeah, I know it was enough to get us closed out because that was a problem. Yes, Irish Dog, because the noobs will cross the streams. It's entirely true. Yes, the cover of the calendar, best cover. Absolutely. Oh, I love it. Anyway. So yes, as you can tell, we obviously have a lot of fun here, us, and we had a lot of fun in-game with so many of you. And I wish we could all play together all the time. But it's unfortunate that so many people have also left the game, whether because of this or for other reasons. But, oh, sorry. I'm trying to be sincere here, and you guys are making me laugh. Forget it. I'm done. That moment's passed. So, you guys asked about what's happening in the future. So, let's talk about that. Alucardalina, I don't want to put you on the spot, but let's talk Project Tyria. What do you foresee happening with you in that arena in the future?
I still enjoy doing it. So, I mean, if they come out with a new part of the map and I already know that there's something on there, I'll probably go in game a bit and check it out. And that's, that's going to be that. But I'm not going to talk myself out of something that I actually like because of something that I dislike.
Okay.
So that's not going anywhere.
Okay, good. Well, that's important. And again, the links are always in the description, or if they're not, they will be, for Project Tyria, so you guys can find that. It's also projecttyria.blogspot.com if you want to find it. That's Alu's personal stuff. It's definitely in the description of every single... Look, more Alu art. The description in every one of the Let's Plays. So, Saune. I mean, I kind of know the answer to this, but...
Because it's all your fault.
Yeah, well, don't make it... Now it sounds like... things that you feel comfortable talking about. What will we see in the future from you? Or should I just talk on that?
Or what?
I said, or should I just talk on that? Because I know you have your Deviantart. Are you going to be doing stuff on there, or...?
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing stuff on Deviantart. I've been swamped with school, so I actually haven't done any drawings really whatsoever, which you've gotten angry at me about already.
Not angry. Don't make the...
What?
Wrong one. This one. I was not angry about it. Just, anticipating for those things to come out to me. Anxious is a good word for it.
Anxious, okay. Because at first you said not angry, and then you ate your mic, so I didn't hear what you said.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway.
He thought it was a cookie.
Yes.
Okay. I can't think and type. Anyways,
Yes, it is free to download.
Yeah, I know that I'm still supporting you with a lot of art stuff for Nerd Immersion.
Yes, we will talk about that.
Yeah, including an alternate web comic, but that's a long ways coming because I'm gonna take a lot more time with it, like a lot more time with it. So you guys can pretty much forget about that by the time it actually gets out.
To be fair, you are being all fanciful and drawing things by hand because you're crazy.
It's a little bit faster.
Is it? Is it really?
Sit down and do it. Yes.
Well, I know the portraits are ridiculously detailed, so I don't know what a panel would look like.
Hold on.
Oh man, somebody cast fear on her again. There she goes. Oh man, look at that fear duration. That's so OP.
It's like Takata up in here.
I know, right?
If I don't leave my chair, no one will see my mess, and then this is the second time I left my chair?
That's the thing that you've done. Oh man, okay. We got Saune back. This is exciting.
This took 1 hour.
Man, look at that. Pretty fancy. Is that...
During class.
Focusing during class, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Is that any specific character, or just one that you drew?
It's the epic mount Rainbow Moa.
Okay. Alright.
See, I was thinking Chocobo, but...
Yeah, I was like, it kinda is Moa-y, and it's kinda Chocobo-y, so I didn't know if it was something specific. Do you have any other art you'd like to debut in a, prematurely on the interwebs for people? Because they do love it. They didn't get to see you draw it.
Oh,
but,
yeah, that's true. They didn't get to see. Let's see.
But they can still see the arts. All the arts.
All the arts.
I mean, you don't have to. That's a wolf. I've seen that one. Yeah.
I know you've seen that one.
I know. I'm excited. I didn't see the Chocobo Moa, so... The
I know,
Choco
because
Moa.
I was saving it till I colored it, but it never seemed to keep happening.
Gotcha. So, I'm getting you guys some Saune art. It's not live speed painting, but it's, Oh man! I know that one.
I just melt the clock on Red Fox.
So, anyway. Yes, yeah. Chocomoa. So, future stuff from me personally. I, as some of you may know, am a very ambitious person. I take on a lot of idea. Oh, there we go. More arts that I've also seen, which makes me happy. Chocomoa really threw me off. I was not expecting that. So, I take on a lot of ideas to the point where I have a Word document with 600 ideas. Oh my god! Did you just
colored Chocomoa?
I know, it looks like you it looks. Shut up, Brahms. It looks like you just did that off screen. Like you put it down and then you're like, and look what I just did. Haha.
It's like this cooking shows.
Yeah, right? And we put the art into the oven and then we take it back out and here we go, it's colored. Person, a very ambitious person, is what I am. So I come up with a lot of ideas. I have ideas for reviews and let's plays and tutorials and all sorts of stuff for web series and yeah. You guys are killing me here. I'm not a Nigerian prince, okay? So, podcasts. People, I saw someone mention it. I don't know, as far as a podcast. Oh my god, you guys are killing me. You know what? If I was the Prince of Persia, I'd have the Dagger of Time, so I could go back in time and re-edit that comment, so I didn't actually say it. Which the whole joke would then be lost on everybody, but whatever, it's fine. Oh my god, live action squeaking! That was a first! Now she's hiding behind the, hiding behind her sketchpad now. So, the future. Someone said Nerd Immersion Podcast. Not out of the realm of possibility. I would definitely, I like doing content, I like releasing videos and audio stuff. So, and I'm getting more into editing, I'm looking into buying some better equipment so that I can provide better things to you guys. So again, for those of you who don't know, www.nerdimmersion.com is my personal website. It's very sporadic with its releases because it's all on me and my attention is divided a million different ways. So,
that's rounding down.
Yes, thank you, Saune. Will you see some of the other faces that you know and love from Chronicles of Tyria? If they're willing, absolutely. Will you see some new faces that you've never met before or only saw playing Guild Wars in the background in funny costumes? That's also a possibility. You never know. So, I'm working on getting a capture card for my 3DS and for all my consoles so I can do streaming and Let's Plays of the new Pokemon game when it comes out. Borderlands the pre-sequel, Sunset Overdrive when it comes out. Thank you, Brahms, yet again, for your lovely comments. And, again, I'm monopolizing Saune almost entirely to say, hey, I need this drawn. Can you do this? Cool, can you do this too? Like, okay, take a break from those other 8 things I told you to do, and, like, this one's probably the most important. But no, really.
Yeah.
Also, you should do that other thing I told you, like, 6 months ago, please. And again, the more support we get from people like you means I can maybe even pay her to do things? Probably not, though.
It'll probably happen more timely then. Probably under obligation.
Yeah, see? Well, it's the trick. Money with this one. That's how you get her. This one. But yeah, I'm currently playing and running and also playing a Dungeons & Dragons 5.0 game, and we're thinking about turning that into a podcast. I have 18 hours of audio from the past weekend. 18 hours that I'm going to try to cut into an hour-long podcast. Or several
Sorry, was that out loud?
Several hour-long episodes of a podcast. If possible. In a comic book men sort of way, if that makes sense to you guys that listen to Kevin Smith stuff.
I just imagined if you cut it down into like an hour from 18 hours, you'd just take little random words and piece them together from the 18 hours.
Yeah, that's a possibility. So I'm planning on doing that. You kind of saw some art that looked very D&D-y. That's as far as I'm going with that. That Saune was drawing. Other things, again, movie reviews, game reviews, comic reviews, book reviews. I go to a lot of conventions, and I think I just lined up 2 more. One for next weekend, because I'm a nut. Like, I found out about one today, and I'm like, you know what would be cool? Going to this convention.
I've done that before.
Maybe I will, as a joke, I'll do an epic chipmunk version of the podcast. So we will, yeah, so cosplay stuff, cosplay tutorials and things like that. Carolina and I both do a lot of costumes, and she's a super awesome sewer lady. That's the technical term.
Yes.
And I make props. Some of you saw the Guild Wars armor. Some of you saw that super 8 billion noted cosplay, one picture of us in the hotel.
Surprised that got as much attention with it just being a blurry photo from the hotel room.
Yep, but yes, cosplay tutorials. I'm planning on building a full suit set of Iron Man armor. That's a thing that's happening. And now, after seeing the Avengers trailer last night, oh my god, I might have to do it before May 2015, because totally super awesome. Also, I was planning on taking it to a convention in May, so I probably should build it before May.
Yeah.
But that's an option. You know, and obviously cosplaying, you use a lot of tools and tool reviews and things like that. I have a cooking show. You guys have been asking for a cooking show for forever. Since one time I mentioned it in passing as a joke on the Chronicles of Tyria, you guys have said, hey, how about a cooking show? Guess what? I have one planned. That's right. It's being written as we speak. I'm getting a better camera and some lights so that I can actually have a professional-looking cooking show. And we can do things like, and the cake goes into the oven, and it's done! Oh my god! Look at that! So, Joel, if I make poutine, I'm not making it. You have to come to New York and make it, because I'm going to do it wrong. And all I'm going to hear about is how I made poutine wrong and it wasn't the Canada way. So, you have to come here to make it. Maybe I'll figure out if I can make my homemade Oreos some kind. Because, you know, Oreos seem to be a big thing with you guys. Yeah, you know, it was a pretty epic neckbeard you had going on there, son.
I have a
Obviously,
special finger for you, Leg. Very special finger. I'm sure you don't know which one it is.
super adorable. You're so cute. Again, you guys can obviously, if you have, because I'm not limited to one game or one medium with my own personal stuff, I can do whatever I want. I'm not, like, trying to shoehorn all that stuff into one game is really difficult. So if you guys have ideas for things you'd like to see or like to do or whatever, get a hold of me, you can just email nerdimmersion@gmail.com. It's the easiest way. Also, if you guys want to play games with me, on the contact page of Nerd Immersion, I have all of my gaming information. So, yeah. Are you making fun of me over there? I'm done. I'm done with you guys.
Don't say that. Not on the last episode.
Here, you know what? That's Alu. No more Saune. She's gone. Gone forever. But yes, I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. It's a thing. Promise. So, yes, I would be up for other ideas and things like that. And maybe like I said, I'll try to grab a bunch of these nuts and we'll try to get something going. Again, Pokemon's coming out. So many streams of Pokemon. There's the potential. Random battling and things like that. You guys, with your comments. Oh my god. Brahms, I'm gonna mute you. I can't take you right now. I'm done.
I can't see you right now, but I assume you got up and dropped the mic or something and left. The lack of response, I think, confirms it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Everything's
When
fine.
we're watching the stream, Alan and I can see each other via Skype, but we can't see Lagwyn because the streaming software has his camera.
Yeah. You used to be able to mimic it on both, but now you can't for whatever reason. So, yeah. I don't know what you guys would want to see as far as content, but I am planning on putting out a ton of it, and hopefully with assistance from these two and others.
You know, I'm always ready to help.
I know you are.
Oh, be careful committing to that, because he will work you.
Well, now I just sound like a slave driver. Jeez.
Flag is secretly Dredge.
Yes. No, no, no. No, no, no. But, well, see, Saune, you offered, if you remember way back, do you need anything drawn for Chronicles of Tyria? And you didn't know how far you got yourself into.
I know.
So, but no.
But again, if I didn't tease you about it, you would think that I was ill.
That's true. That's very true. So, yes, there will be plenty of things happening in the future. Just probably not here, on another site. But it'll still be the same people that you know, and maybe like us. I think you like us. You guys seem to all... Again, we've had over 15 viewers for an hour. That's like a record for the past, 50 episodes. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe there really are new players.
Whoa. Hang on now. No, these are all people we know, so none of them are new.
Well, they'd have to be. Do you know why?
Why?
Because coming and finding a podcast is too confusing for a new player. Once you find the podcast...
Hey! Nice and easy.
Once you find the podcast, you're not a new player anymore.
Yeah. You know what? Brahm says it's him on 12 accounts, so never mind. Well, it was nice. Thank you. Thank you for making us feel... better. Alright. I feel like I've talked enough about things that aren't Guild Wars 2 on technically a Guild Wars 2 podcast. We have Craft Corner, though. Saune totally did that, because she's crazy, and did all the last second. So I'm just going to grab all of it and post all the links. Boom. That's triple links right there. Yes, Jal. Jal is Brahms. Brahms is Brahms. Joel is Brahms. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? Saune's engrossed in typing. Alla, what about you?
I'm not typing.
It looks like you're typing. Or drawing.
I'm drawing.
Okay. That's allowed.
What are you drawing? Are you drawing the king again?
I can't tell if I'm pointed at it or not.
Yes, you are, but we can't exactly make it out.
That's okay.
I guess?
Sure.
I see some hair. And I think an arm.
And a dress.
Yeah, or a gown, maybe. Maybe it's a sorcerer. It's a gown. Or a tail?
Is there anything anyone from our viewers want us to talk about?
Yes, good idea, Alucardalina.
Because, yeah.
Where do you think Guild Wars 2 is going if they keep this direction up, if you could call it a direction?
Okay, does anyone have any positive questions?
No! Irish dog. North. Yep, probably gonna go north. No. Well, obviously, the last living story had this whole... I mean, if you're talking story or the game as a whole, I don't know. Story, obviously, I think we're gonna run into more stuff with Mordramoth. I don't know where it could go. There's the potential with all the visions of the Pale Tree and things like that. Other Pale Trees, and more Traherne, probably, because everybody loved that. I don't know.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think that there's going to be some sort of catalyst that's going to break the group apart, kind of like Destiny's Edge. And everybody's going to be angry at each other. Because they said we'd attempt to fight Mordramoth. But I think something's going to go wrong, and I think that it's going to be another Destiny's Edge thing going on.
Okay. I mean, it worked so well first time. Why not do it again? Perkysaurus, I would say they're going to continue to stretch out the content with longer and longer gaps between them. That's a good point. There has been a lot in the way of gaps, which is what put us on hiatus in the first place. The lack of content for almost a month, 2 months, before there was any, quote, new content, and it's still not new, because it's rehashed Halloween.
Yeah, and you know, I always defended them on how slowly they were putting out content this year, because it's just like, well, if it's a good story and everything, I can forgive that, because, you know, I'd wait for a good story. But what we're instead getting is itty bits of story, and then small bits of content that they are pretending is really huge by making you play it like 3 or 4 times over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Eduardo says they don't have any more money to pay for Troy Baker or Felicia Day, so they'll just kill Destiny's Edge.
I hope they started on that.
Yeah. So we can get rid of Logan. I don't think anybody would mind.
I think they won't, because it'll be like those reality shows where they keep the most dramatic person on there. Just to, like, keep people going, oh, I can't wait to see him die.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but, like, if you think about where they went with Zoja, she's not around anymore because they can't get Felicia Day to do voice acting.
Yeah.
So they have to make up other characters to replace Zoja. And they do have pretty talented actors currently in Bram and Rox and Marjorie and Casimir. So. We also have...
It's such a shame. I actually like the Biconics.
Yeah. I mean... Oh, it was a lady. We were right. And it was a dress, not a tail or a gown. I see some legs in there, and a head. It looks like fire in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
A hand on a hip. Which sort of has like a bustle thing going on, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm proud of myself. So, let's say Cantha comes back this summer, and GW2 unskews the negative aspects that bothered people. Would you guys come back?
Yeah.
I would probably...
I'd try it, at least.
I'd come back to the game. I don't know if I would come back to I don't think I would restart up CoT Podcast. If other people want to do CoT Podcast, that's fine. But me personally... Now, maybe if I move on to another thing where I'm talking about other stuff, would I cover Guild Wars 2 if there was a launch of an expansion and I think I'd want to come back? Absolutely, I would talk about it. I might not talk about it under this cover, but you're asking a lot. Basically, take away all the stuff that made you leave in the first place and give you new stuff that you've wanted from the launch, then yes, I feel like I'd be stupid to be like, no, they're gonna give me everything I want? Pfft, I'm out of here.
If they do that, I will personally start up the CoT podcast myself.
Good luck, sister. It's some work.
Which is, I'm saying that because I know that.
Okay. I know you do.
I have zero faith in them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, a launch of of an expansion would have been huge. You know what? You also could have used that now to maybe soften the blow of all the crap that you're doing that's pissing everybody off. Like, hey guys, I know we're doing all this stuff that you don't like, but also expansion. And then people be like, no, but can't. You know. So.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted more money, that's really all they needed to do.
Yeah, and Rammer here has a good point. You're not paying a sub fee. I completely agree. So,
Yeah.
You paid for the game once, and you're getting all this stuff for free, assuming they don't release an expansion that's paid. And I agree, which always gives you the potential to come back, which is kind of how I played Guild Wars 1. I would play Guild Wars 1 hardcore for like 6 to 8 months at a time, and then I'd take like a few month break, and then I'd come back and play again. And around Halloween and Winter's Day, I would always come back and play, because those were my favorite holidays. Halloween is my favorite holiday. New content on a Halloween is my favorite thing.
It took them 4 years before they rehashed content once in Guild Wars 2, or Guild Wars 1, and it took them 2 years. Or this is the third Halloween, technically, but...
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna rehash content, at least bring back the dungeon from Halloween Year 1 that everybody liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bring back all the PvP stuff. Bring back Reaper's Rumble.
Yeah, or bring it back so that people can choose to play the first story or the second story, but they literally have dropped exactly what they dropped last year.
Yep.
Yeah, there have been like 0 changes to the story, so it's like, what happened? Never even happened.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, what's in this coffin? I wonder what's in this coffin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same guy from last year, except we don't know him right now, so let's find his weakness.
Yeah.
They could have been like, oh, we realized that the candy corn that we had isn't going to hold that well. So, he's going to come out. We got to make sure he's still weak to candy corn. Because, sitting on his coffin for that long, he could have gained a tolerance for it. Something like that.
Yeah. Again, we've talked about constantly how one line of dialogue in a patch notes makes everything better.
Yeah.
Like, you could fix a lot of stuff. There's a candy corn fight happening in the chat right now.
Ooh.
Brahms and candy corn, it always leads to a fight.
It's true.
Always.
Yep. Yes, Brahms was the one that said all the candy corn was made in the 70s, and they're just still putting it out for everybody. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Mellow cream pumpkins, they're better than candy corn.
I have s'mores candy corn right now.
I know. We America, we have the best of everything. We have all of the flavored things that are flavored like other things.
Yeah, that's why I don't suggest it, actually. It's like, if you like s'mores, then eat s'mores. If you like candy corn, then eat candy corn. Don't eat candy corn s'mores.
But if you like pumpkin spice and you like Oreos, eat pumpkin spice Oreos.
Yes.
It doesn't taste like pumpkin spice, but it does taste good.
It tastes delicious. I'm sorry.
Wow. Ooh.
We got violence. Violence.
Nice violence.
Yeah. So, again, still keep sending us messages. We'll still keep answering. The main website continues. We're gonna see if anything, the fan fiction's still gonna continue as long as the writers want to keep putting it out. I know
I will be.
I know you will be. You've been there since the beginning. Since before you were a writer, you've been writing.
Yeah, I'm taking kind of a hiatus right now. This month and all not being good, but I will be back up to publishing things soon.
Yeah.
I promise.
So, again, that's gonna happen, and we will be doing other things under a different cover. Videos, reviews. We're still gonna keep doing our Monday goofiness, where we, you know, try to record an actual mission and sometimes end up dying for an hour. That only happened the one time, though.
And to the point where it gets to the point where we're just all like, someone reached the door, and we're all like dying, just touching the door.
So
it's just littered with corpses.
Someone
get through? Someone got through!
You can kind of ignore the order, because I accidentally, when I scheduled the videos to come out last week, I scheduled it to go 58, 56, 57, rather than 56, 57, 58. So you can still go in order, but they came out in a different order.
Yeah. I noticed that, actually.
Yeah. But anyway, extra content, because it's Halloween in Guild Wars 1, so we gave you 3 videos for like a grand total of an hour and a half. Granted, one of them was 15 minutes of us just running around Lion's Arch, and the other was an hour of us dying, but that's okay, because that's how we roll.
Well, that's part of playing a game, though.
Yeah. No, so again, you can expect streaming and other stuff from us in the future. Streaming, maybe even we'll do a live Let's Lore, possibly. You never know. It might be really difficult to get the computers to not blow up doing that. Ooh, look at all the other stuff you drew. Dragons?
Oh.
Drake? Let's call it a Drake.
Oh.
Okay.
Pencil ended up on paper.
Well, hey,
It's like a cat dragon. It's a cat gun.
Kagan?
It's a drat.
That's actually, that's what it's called now. It's a drat.
Okay.
Alright, so, anyway, guys.
Because it's got no back legs.
Alright. So, we have had a great time talking with you. Thank you all for coming out and watching us for our final episode. This one actually will get up on iTunes, I promise. Oh, there's Saune again.
Yeah.
So, yes, for the final episode, unless you get, well, actually, final thoughts before I outro here. The last time I say final thoughts, like this is like the 18th final thought. Alu, final
I'm all out of
thoughts.
Come play Guild Wars 1 with me, people. I need to get some Asura rank.
Alright, Saune?
So, yeah.
Oh no, Alu's still going.
Sorry.
No.
You can find me in game under Alucardolina Claire, so, you know, it's not that difficult to find me anywhere.
Okay. Saune, what about you?
Oops. Apparently, I'm good. I think I'm good.
Yeah?
You just saw what I typed in chat. I think I'm good.
Yep, alright. Anyway, yes, if you want to find us, you can join our guild, obviously, in Guild Wars 2 or Guild Wars 1.
Yep.
Guild Wars 1, I am the Flare Witch. That's the name I go by. Spelled just like it sounds. The space Flare space Witch. It's me. So, again, nerd immersion stuff. I'll put links in all the description, and keep an eye on that. You can go subscribe on YouTube. You can follow us here on Twitch. You can check out the website. There's a Facebook. There's a Twitter. Pretty active on the Twitter. I have some other lovely ladies that understand other social media that I don't understand. Like Tumblr, for instance, is one. I may try to recruit some other people and get them to run other things for me. Because, you know, that's what I do. I delegate. Anyway, for the very final episode of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, I'm Lagwyn.
I'm Alucardolina.
I'm Saune.
I don't know what to say. I usually say we'll see you
I
next.
know, it's all awkward reading the fourth, and Drums is in the chat.
Goodbye.
We'll see you on the other side.
From that's not creepy at all.
Ooh.
Alright, we're gone for real. I want to make sure that I don't cut ourselves off like I do with Twitch every single time.
Yeah. Tyler, if you ever watch him with his unboxings or anything like that, he's always like, Angaba! Every time.
I believe it.